Hello everybody, welcome to Super's Corner, a show about Hudson County Schools of Technology, its teachers, its programs, its staff, and its students. And here's Frank Ardula, our superintendent of schools. I'm John Placino, your host, and here's Rob Meyer, our video production
Yes, sir, Mr. P.
here for the last 8 years, I believe.
Yeah.
Last 9 years, and we've done a lot of shows together. And he's going to tell us a little bit about video production. But before we do that, Frank, tell us a little bit about what's back here in the back end of the school in North Bergen, video, radio, performing arts. We have a whole wing back here, and how does that complement the school? How does that, I think a couple programs before we talked about it, it'd be kind of the juice of the school, or the
Well, kind of the TV video production and particularly TV video production and the radio station are really great ways for students to express themselves. Besides learning skills for a profession, in high school, if people know high schools and high school kids, is what their venue is. They want to see, they want to hear, they want to create, want to do those things that are exciting to them. And even though it's changing rapidly, the profession's changing rapidly because the technology's changing rapidly, they're great skills for kids, 21st century skills, because it allows all those pieces, the academic pieces, the writing skills, just preparing the script for the session. The technical skills, doing what has to be done to run whatever those programs are, the creativity skills, which in the 21st century, we spoke about in one of the other shows, are extremely important. Put that all together, and you find a great place for kids to be.
Right.
And Rob here, who runs the department up here, does a great job with what the program is in the district. And the kids do a lot of their own stuff. You see them in the halls doing stuff. You see them outside doing stuff. You can see them in the park sometimes. Whatever they're producing, whether they're producing a little vignette or a movie or whatever it is, it's something that skills of what they put together. From what I've noticed about it is that the kids that are involved in it truly love that piece of it. So it's not for everybody, but it's another choice, another place for kids, and it incorporates those 21st century skills that are extremely important to us.
Well, Rob, you took over from my friend Barney Doyle about 8 years ago. You've done a wonderful job, and tell us a little bit, give us a little overview of the program and what you do, and what your goals are and stuff like that.
Sure. We run the whole gamut, and it really starts honestly with central office, the administration, understanding what we need, and even if they don't understand it, understanding that we're really going to put it to good use. Right. For me, the whole thing here is have an idea. Everything starts with an idea. Right. And then putting that idea into motion. The great thing, I think you could teach all of high school with video and film production, because it's the idea of having an idea. Every kid has an idea. Every kid wants to be involved in an idea. It's about having the idea and putting it into motion, and immediately having to realizing that you need a plan. We always say that if you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail. Because at some point, I tell the kids, listen, at some point, you're going to have to make this decision. It's much better to make it here in the paperwork stage than when you're out in the mall area shooting, everybody looking at you, everybody waiting for something. The level of preparation. People think, oh, we'll run out and we'll just shoot some stuff. But, for example, one year the kids were shooting a movie, and the kid had super glasses. The glasses gave him some sort of superpowers. Right. So the kids wrote the script. We had all the equipment ready to go. We get out, we get ready to shoot. They forgot the glasses. It was a 60-cent prop. Right. But all of a sudden, it puts everything on hold. And I think it really crystallizes the point of the need to prepare. Another thing I really like about our major is that a lot of the kids, frankly, aren't into the technical aspects of it. Right. And that's okay, too, because there's so many other things. Sure, writing. Aspects. The writing part is so big.
Starts there.
The producing part, putting all the pieces in place. And then I have kids, anecdotally, the kids come back and they tell me, doing a term paper, piece of cake all of a sudden, because these kids are trying to make movies in high school. So they go out in the world, and I think it really behooves them, whether they go into film or not.
Whether they go on TV, but there's so many skills they can take from a course like this and abilities they can transfer that to a lot of careers and many career paths.
Yeah, and their finished product is something that is very familiar to their peers. So there's no, frankly, if you write an English term paper, the likelihood is that the rest of your class probably isn't going to read it. There's a certain sense of anonymity. But here you really have to put yourself out there, which is good. All of a sudden, the product becomes a lot more important than the grade that eventually I'm going to write down for them.
Well, Rob, it's quick. We got to stop here because we're going to get some students on. You're going to see a video of what goes on here in the TV production studio.
And I just want to say, we're going to show a video of Sam Jacobs and Sean Northgrave.
Right.
They came in, they worked after school on a Friday. Every other kid left for the weekend. They stayed after school, they worked on it on a Friday, and there's a lot of work that went into
That's
it.
incredible. So we'll be back right after this video.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks.
Rob.
Thank you very much.
Bell rang, Sean. Buses are gonna leave soon. You can stay if you want to. If you do, you gotta get your mom to come pick you up. It's time to go. Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I stayed after. I had to finish this thing.
Just come pick me up.
Ma, I know you told me not to stay after, but I had to. It was really hard. I sincerely apologize to you. Can you just come and get me? Look, Mom, I'm sorry. What do I have to say here? All right, Mom. Goodbye. Who are you?
Who am I? Recognize me now? Does leaving your girlfriend dateless for the prom ring a bell? I've waited my entire life for that moment and you just left me!
I don't know who you are.
You have blue eyes. Sorry.
What?
Hey, welcome back to Super's Corner with Franco Jewell, Superintendent of Schools. I'm John Pacino, your host. And we have two students from the video production class. We have Sean Northgrave and Sam Jacobs. These are the guys that stayed after school, right? And came on, put their production together. And Sean, who I know from radio production.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about this class in general and the projects you're working on.
This class has given me such great opportunities. I think Sam can attest to this. It's given you an education about film that you never really got before. I got in here and I didn't know the terms, I didn't know the terminology.
Right.
I didn't really know what I was doing. And as I progressed and just doing it, and just making videos and testing it out. And we even shot something in the beginning of the year that we're not gonna get to show because, it was a whole lot of issues. But we figured out so much about what we were doing, filmmaking wise from it, that I feel like we've progressed to the point that we can make a video like you're gonna see in a little while.
Wow. And Sam, who beat me in the ping pong tournament, tell me, this you're a junior or a senior?
Junior.
Junior. So did you take this all the way from freshman and what do you like about the program and what have you gotten from it and where do you want to go with it?
Well, I actually came to the school with a plan of starting with TV Pro because, it's a passion. Where I want to go with it, probably want to
Make it a career?
make a career, yeah.
Wow. And you work with Sean on these projects?
Yeah, we're
and
basically a team.
You're a junior too, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, Mr. Gargiulo, let me get you involved in this conversation here. You were talking about creativity and before in the first part of the show. These are perfect examples of what ideas and creativity can do. And this is kind of what we try to foster in this school. What do you, you've been involved with TV production for a while, with TV shows and stuff. What would you like to say to these students and anything that you could encourage them with, any inspirational message to continue what they're doing?
Well, from the point of view of being involved with kids for 50 years now,
Right.
I very strong component, very strongly in favor of kids following their interest,
Right.
because interest drives all learning. And if you're not interested in it, you go nowhere with
Right.
it. If you looked at the two of them, the way they express themselves today, they have some kind of a connection with what they're doing.
Right.
They have choice. They don't have to be here. And they can pick 9,000 other majors. And I think Jacob said that he came here with that, which was unusual kind of. But what happens is along the way, while they're doing all that stuff, they're getting educated. It's sometimes what we miss as educators, what education is truly about.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really not about those standardized tests and all those things we do to kids. It's really not about that.
Yeah.
It's about thinking, processing, and following a dream, and also following something that interests you. And in their interest, they're going to have to do some math. They're going to have to do some language arts. They have to. Even some science is going to be mixed in that. But it's going to be subtle in a way that enhances their dream.
Benefits.
Kind of thing. It's not imposed on them. That's why we're having such a struggle with those kinds of things. It doesn't mean they can't move into other fields. They can.
Right.
But I'm always, they just support what I always thought.
Right.
That interest drives learning, and if you're not interested, get something you're interested in, because that's what's going to educate you. So, they're a credit to the place.
Yeah. And do you feel your interests drive you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have a double period every day at the end of the day. And it's something that, even when I'm having a day that I'm not, enjoying per se, it's something that I look forward to and I say, okay, I can go and I can do something that I enjoy. I can make videos and I can do something that rewards me personally.
Very, very, get a lot of satisfaction from it, right, Sam?
Yeah, it provides a lot of motivation to do well in other subjects so that, you have an opportunity to work in such an awesome field.
Well, I want to thank both of you. I want to thank Frank Gargiulo, Superintendent of Schools. I'm John Pepino, your host for Super's Corner. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. What will education look like in the future? How can today's schools prepare our youth, the nation's most important asset, for the skills and abilities necessary for the 21st century? The television show Super's Corner, produced by Hudson County Schools of Technology, presents this future with features on the cutting-edge technology programs integral to today's learning. Innovation, creativity, and vision are the ingredients needed for today's dynamic, ever-evolving educational environments. This will allow our youth to compete successfully in tomorrow's global economy. Let Super's Corner usher you into this new, exciting frontier of knowledge.